We're going to be live here. When we take a break on with the radio, we're still live here.
Where do you like the focus to be?
You know, I think we can look here, we can talk. I mean, it's a conversation.
Okay.
It's fine. It's a
But
conversation.
we can look at both places.
Right.
Okay.
So it's all fine. So we have 1 minute. This is so. It's so different for me to Skype in because I'm used to having my producer behind the glass and giving me the signals, and so I'm like all over the place. Hey, Patrick Perez, how are you? Hi, Barbara, Babsy, how you doing? Hi. Are you guys ready? It's gonna be a great show. Hey, Kristen. Good morning, Patrick. Hi, Patricia. I like to address everybody and then when we were breaking this topic again. All right, we're going live in 30, kids. Hang on, guys. Have to put up with the commercials. Here we go.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, and staff, other advertisers, or agents.
Oh, great. Good, Patrick. Thank you. Patricia, thank you.
They don't make you like they used to. You're never going out of style.
This is the Just Steph Show. I'm your host, Steph Palermo, your Italian Boston girl moved south who shows you how to enjoy life. Right here on Love 860 every Thursday, 11 a.m. until noon. Tune in weekly for tips on enhancing your life by balancing body, mind, and heart. It's featuring Living Atlanta. Find out where it goes this weekend.
Hey, this is Steph Palermo, and it's the Just Steph Show. Everybody has 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one. We are second lifers. We're empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over. Age 3, your healthy, happy, hip years are just beginning. The bat phone is connected, so give me a buzz to chat today. 404-355-8699. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you. We have a great show today. I have Linda Ugelow. Is that how you say your name?
Ugelow.
Ugelow.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. All right, I've been saying it wrong.
That's no problem.
All righty. Well, thank you for being here.
I'm so glad.
I watched your videos and I looked at your website. This lady is amazing. She's awesome. So we have a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a great show. And of course, always we have the Just Steph rules of dating. And I have to tell you out there, I'm Skyping in from Boston, so it's very exciting. I love being here, but it's so new for me. I get all messed up. I'm like, oh, I'm all discombobulated. The technology is just almost too much to handle.
Oh, it's all good. You just take a breath.
I know.
And let it go.
That's right. And I think, you know what I think of Steve Harvey when he gave the wrong girl the crown. And I said, well, my stuff is not that bad.
That's right.
Right?
It's all relative.
Yeah, it is. So, you know, you never have to miss a beat with me. I'm on iTunes. I'm a podcast on iTunes. And if you need to know where to be this weekend in Atlanta, you can always check out my website. It's juststeph.com, and you just click the Living Atlanta page, and all your stuff is there. So, Linda, I'm so happy. You do the Women's Network television, right? Women Inspired?
Women Inspired TV, yes.
I know, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So I was watching your videos, and you talk a lot about gaining confidence, and I think sometimes, especially for second lifers, I see the millennials. I'm around them a lot because my kids are millennials, and I love their confidence, and I think they're so comfortable in their own skin, a lot of them. I'm not saying everybody, but I notice with second lifers, we're sort of, you know, we can be wavering. And I think especially in these days, because a lot of us are maybe a little like me with the technology, you're a little bit nervous about that, or especially in jobs. So I wanted to talk to you about getting comfortable in your own skin and gaining confidence in general, because we know that you're a coach and you do executive coaching and professional coaching. But what would you say for the average person? What would be some things that they could do to gain self-confidence?
Well, this is going to be really surprising, I think. But there are 3 things that I recommend. And the first one is letting go of the past.
Which is not so easy sometimes.
It's not so easy, but the thing is, like, if you're holding a pencil and you say, I'm going to let go, but you're still holding on, you're not letting go.
Right.
It takes willingness to just open your hand and let it go. And the reason why I say clear your past is that when we hold on to all the things we accumulate, we have positive and negative experiences, right?
Right.
But the negative ones tend to stick.
Absolutely.
And then we make ideas and stories about what they mean. And then that impacts on how we feel. We say, well, I can't do this because this happened to me. I can't do that because my father said, that I wasn't good enough. Or it could be anything big or small that we hang on to. You can't hang on to it. If you want to feel confident, the past was the past. Find a way to forgive and let go.
Right, and I think that even especially when you're over 40 and you've had a lot more hurt, you have all those years of whatever, especially in relationships, and when you bring them forward, even in friendships, I'm not even talking about love relationships or work relationships, you think this boss is going to be the same as that boss, or this coworker has is going to be the same as the last one I was with. So so I get that.
Right. Don't carry it forward.
Right.
Don't carry it forward. Find what learning there was that you can gain, whatever it is, whether it taught me to be resilient or to stand up for myself, or that I don't want that. Whatever it is, find your gift, find your lesson, and then don't carry it anymore.
Right. Right.
Do you know the story of the 2 monks?
No, tell me.
So there were 2 Buddhist monks. They're walking to a destination. They come up to a river, and they have to wade through the river to get across. And they saw there's a beautiful woman standing next to them with a basket of fruit, and she says, would you carry me across so I won't get my dress wet? And the 2 monks look at each other because they're not supposed to touch a woman or speak to a woman. But the older monk leans down, he picks her up, carries her across, and puts her down. And they go on their ways. The 2 monks are walking along. The older man is peaceful. The younger man is agitated more and more as they go hours away. Finally, he blurts out, how could you have picked up that woman? You know that we're not supposed to touch a woman. And the older monk looks at the younger one and says, I put that woman down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?
Isn't that funny? There you go.
There you go.
So
And that's what we do. You have to be done when you're done, and you got to find ways to do it. It could be that you journal. It could be that you go to church. It could be that you work with somebody to help you forgive. Whatever you need to do. And you're doing yourself a favor. A lot of people hold on to things because they think that it justifies, it gives them an excuse not to do certain things, unfortunately. But they also think that holding on to their anger or their shame is somehow going to change the past, and the truth is, it doesn't.
Well, I have a very wise friend in Atlanta who says, don't paint the person or the event with the same brush that you were using before. And I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's been a hard lesson for me, especially, even with just relationships, trying not to bring all that forward. So you said you had 3, so
Yes.
Okay, so what's number 2?
And number 2 is stop eroding at your confidence. So what I mean by that is that we use inside our heads words that actually do to us what we are hoping won't be done to us. So we are saying nasty things to ourselves all the time. So let's say, it might be, oh, that was such a stupid thing to say, or, oh, why did you do that? Or you look like a mess today. You look in the mirror when you wake up in the morning. A lot of people say, you look like a mess, or worse.
Right.
You judge yourself all the time. Now, if you stop for a minute and you say those words aloud that you might be saying to yourself, and imagine saying them to someone who you actually really care about, you would say, no, I would never say that. I would never
Right.
say, oh, you look stupid today, or what an awful thing to say, or no one's going to hire you, or who do you think you are? I mean, those things we would never say to someone we care about.
Right.
And if we had a housemate or a roommate who said those things to us regularly, we wouldn't renew the lease.
Probably. Right. Right.
So
I actually said it last night in my talk. I was talking to the Mass Professional Networking Group, and what a great group of people, very supportive of one another. I could just feel it in the room. I said, each one of us, we're not replaceable. We're unique, and if we have people in our lives that treat us as if we're replaceable, then we need to replace them. So I'm sort of liking it to what you said.
absolutely.
So I just think, we wouldn't want to be around people, and a lot of people do stay with people who are toxic in their world.
Yeah.
That's, so that's part of it, but that's because we're already toxic to
In
ourselves.
ourselves, so that's why we have to change how we talk to ourselves. And the thing is, to be honest and fair, the way that we talk to ourselves, it's really trying to do the best it can. It's trying to prevent our embarrassment, our, showing up negatively to other people, trying to prevent
Right.
judgment, but it doesn't know how to do it well.
Right.
So that's why we work so hard to communicate well with others.
Right.
We have to work hard to communicate well with ourselves.
Right. Change the
So,
words in your head.
Change the words in your head. Be committed to being supportive.
Right. I mean, that took me a long time. That has taken me a long time, and I still find myself, I have to, sort of back up, no.
Yeah.
And so, but what's been great is I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a great day.
Yes.
And it always is. When you
Yes.
just, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
And that's it. And, and then it is.
Yeah.
It always is a great day.
Yeah. And we hope and pray for someone outside ourselves to be that wonderful supporter of us 100% of the time.
Right.
And we can't find that person because they don't exist. No one can be there for us 100% of the time.
Right.
But we can.
Right. Right.
We have that ability. And so we may as well take it. We may as well create it.
Do it ourselves, because
Do it ourselves.
do it ourselves. And yeah, we need supportive people in our world, but really you can't hang your hat on a hook that can't bear its weight. And we can't, nobody can be there for everybody. I can't be everything to everybody. I mean, I've got 4 kids, mom, sister, boyfriend, all friends. You just can't be everything to everybody. So but you can be everything for yourself.
That's right. Or we can do the best we can. And we
Right.
can do a great job.
That's
A
right.
great job.
Right. Every
Yes.
day. Every
Yes.
day is a great day.
Yes.
So what was the third one?
The third one is to, once you have kind of cleared some of the past, it's kind of like you have a closet.
Mm-hmm.
And if all the hangers are taken up with stuff, the old stuff, you can't put new stuff in. There's just
Right.
no room. So once you clear that old stuff away, then you can start replacing it with, what does confidence feel like? And everyone has some place in their life where they feel confident. Amp it up. Whether it's driving in your car and you feel confident, practice what confidence feels like in your body. Envision what it would feel like to be in a situation where you're acting with confidence. And suddenly you have these new neural pathways, really, of being relaxed, however you want to feel. If you want to feel relaxed or more expressive or more confident, where you already feel that, amp it up more. When you're with your friends that you love or your family, be a little goofier.
Right.
Just see how you can take it out a little further, and then you'll eventually spread that to more areas of your life.
I definitely think that that's so much easier when you're comfortable in your own skin, when you have done all of that positive, stepping forward. Now, I saw something on your website that intrigued me. You said that you took 10 years to unschool your daughter. What exactly? I'm sort of getting it because of the way society is. But I want to hear from you what that means.
Yes. So I said that we unschooled for 10 years. Unschool is one of the terminologies under homeschooling that differentiates itself from sitting at a desk at home and pretending that knowing our daughter to express the things that she enjoyed doing and doing more of that. So we'd go to the library and we'd bring home armloads of books and we'd sit on the hammock and read. When my daughter went to school age 10, she came home from the first day and she said, how come they don't have a couch in the classroom? It's so much more comfortable to read when you're sitting on a couch.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Why don't you petition the principal to...
There you go.
But she never did. But it's true. I mean, when you're sitting on a couch, you're close to somebody, you're relaxed, it makes your brain work better.
Right.
So we did this because when I left college, I was so thrilled to finally be able to read what I wanted to read and put my desire to learn things in the places that I had great interest.
Right.
And I came across the books of an educator named John Holt, who, after years of trying to reform the school system, finally decided it was unreformable and that people should consider teaching their kids at home, meaning following the kids' interests because that's what they learn best, and blending that with the interests of the parents, interests of their friends and family, and doing things out in the world. Yeah, so that's what we did. That was our unschooling.
I mean, I definitely think the way that they teach things in school, because especially when if you have a child with special circumstances, one of my sons has auditory processing, and he has ADD, but it's not hyperactive, it's the one that's inattentive. And you know, I never wanted him to say he had a learning disability. That was wrong, because it's just like for me, I have a difference. You know, my Poland syndrome is a difference. It's not a disability. It's not because if I think of it as a disability or being disabled or being, you know, then that's what you are. So for my son, I just said to him, you just learn differently from everybody else. So we're going to find a way that you can learn the information the way that your brain is working. Hello? Why do we have to, you know, tell them that, you know, they have a disability?
Right.
You don't. They're usually smarter.
Right.
You know, when they, you know, so, I mean, that's kind of, you know, how I think. It's all the changing your thinking and turning things around. And I think it's coming. Don't you think? I see people changing a little bit. Do you?
I absolutely do. Yes. I think we're becoming more sophisticated, more nuanced, more aware of appreciating diversity.
I agree with that. So we're going to talk about how self-confidence affects love. And this is dating advice for second lifers, and we have the Just Steph rules of dating. All right, so I was looking stuff up because I wanted to talk to you about this, but I'm sure you have so much to say, so I don't even know if we need this, but when you're in a, you know, for second lifers that are newly single or have been single for a while, a lot of times, like we talked about in the earlier segment, we bring forward the pain of the past into the new relationships. Part of that is we've lost our own self-confidence. So how do you see, and what can we do in love relationships, and how do you see it affecting love relationships? That's like very broad, I guess. But what, you know, I mean, I think having self-confidence, I know when I'm self-confident, I'm much better in my relationships. So how do you see what does self-confidence do for love relationships, especially in terms of second lifers?
Yeah, I think it's so important to start with loving yourself, right, and having a feeling the wholeness of your relationship to you, and not be seeking or craving someone else to fill you or complete you. You are complete, right. You are whole. So I think that's a great place to start with. I have a friend who is also a dating coach, and she recommends dating yourself, buying yourself flowers, taking yourself out to places that you want to go to, and really having a good time. So that when you meet somebody, it's somebody who augments you. And that when you, and my view is that when we interact with people, whether it's someone that we're dating or just a new friendship or a business associate or networking, that we want to create a good experience and to be in the experience rather than evaluating, is he good enough? Is she good enough? Am I good enough? So rather than being in this place of judgment, to be in a place of presence and just be in the experience. And then you can always decide later what you want to do about it.
Right, right. I think, you know, it's funny because I know that I've seen the millennials, like I said, because they're already in their careers, they're you know, they're doing great things, and so when they come together, it's because they want to. So in my mind, my cup is full already, you overflow it.
Yes.
You know, and you bring abundance, where I'm already okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good here, I don't need anybody, I don't, like, needy. I'm talking about needy. Of course, we all have needs.
Absolutely.
You know, we have needs, and we all want to
And
be.
desires.
And yes, needs, desires, and you know, I like to be loved. I want to love back. I want to give. I want to have somebody take care of me. I love all that.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's in addition to my life. That's like I love to go to the movies by myself. I love it. You know, it's relaxing. I watch the movie. I enjoy it. I mean, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So what you said about doing stuff, dating yourself, if you're in between relationships, figuring out who you are and what you love to do and what you want to do, and establishing those, and trying to figure out what are your boundaries. Because I think that having boundaries is part of that, having that confidence.
Yeah.
And respecting your own boundaries.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we let that go.
Mm-hmm.
We say, oh, we don't do this, we don't do that, and then someone comes into our lives and we're like, oh, all right, well, that's out the window. You know, don't you think?
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I think that, you know, having those boundaries really makes a big difference. And I think, I mean, I've noticed even with myself, when my self-esteem is not high or if I'm feeling low, it just brings a negative vibe into my relationships. And I know, you know, I'm divorced, and I know that me not taking care of me was a big part in the downfall of my marriage. I mean, it's huge because I didn't stand up for me all along. And, you know, everybody has a part. You know, this is, you know, it takes two to tango.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as women, we are so accustomed to wanting to please, and we are praised for pleasing, praised in school for pleasing the teacher and doing what the teacher wants, and what we basically do is we learn to mold ourselves according to whoever is in the other position.
Right.
And then we go into relationships and we think, well, I'll be whatever you want me to be.
Right.
And we lose, as you say, our boundaries.
Right.
So it's really important to find out, well, who do we want to be?
Right.
And then, you know, just, even though I said, you know, we want to be whole, I think it's really helpful and fun to think about who would we want to be with and to let ourselves really specifically, not that we're going to get it all, but really specifically come up with an idea and a list of what the qualities of someone that we want to be
Right.
with.
I did that.
I did that too, and I got most of it.
I did. I mean, you know, I did that. I did that after my last breakup.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
I did a long time ago a list of must-haves and will not tolerate,
Mm-hmm.
and most of that's mostly that's stuff that was just sort of par.
Mm-hmm.
But I did make a list of what I was looking for, and you know, for me, humor is huge,
Mm-hmm.
huge. I need to laugh,
Yes.
and I can tell you right now, I was cracking up this morning, just cracking up because I said something funny and he said something funny back to me. I was so tired and I was just cracking up. I love laughing. And I want to laugh with somebody, and I can tell you I never cracked up in my marriage. We never laughed. Never. I don't remember ever, like, we would, like, get a chuckle out of the kids or whatever, but I never, like, we never hung out and talked and just cracked up and laughed. I mean, that's happening daily for me now. Yeah, so that's a huge thing for me. So I think everybody needs to find out what's important to them and what works for them. That's, I mean, I have the, I decided after my last relationship, I bring so much to the table. Who deserves to sit at my table? So I came up with 4 criteria for sitting at my table, and one of them is, do you deserve to sit at my table? And that's my personal list, like, do you have a job? You know, are you happy? Do you have any, you know, baggage? Are you, you know, when I mean baggage, I mean I'm talking about really bad red flags that are going to be, you know,
impacting your
negative. You need to be positive. You need to, you know, treat me like a lady and all of that stuff, you know. And so, but whatever it was, but humor was a big one. So, I mean.
When did you realize that?
About the humor?
Yeah.
You know, when in my last relationship, I laughed and I realized that it was important. When that was over and, you know, that was a very painful breakup for me, and I put, you know, I had that list and everything, I knew that I wanted it. And now I have, it's funny because I think the universe gives you what you put, you know, what you put out is what you get back. And I got somebody in my life that I can't even tell you, I'm crying, I'm tears out of my eyes laughing every day. Every day. So, you know, that's really that's great, but I think you have to know what you want.
Yes. And those are values too. It's like, what is valuable to you? And it's worth it to take the time to consider, what do we value in a relationship?
Right. I mean, I need somebody that has a brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need somebody that's smart, and, you know, for me, I like a little quick wit. And so, I mean, I just like that. It's important to me. But that doesn't mean that's important to everybody else.
That's right.
So whatever's important to you, you just have to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I just think you need to know, that's knowing yourself.
Yes.
And that's everything we've talked about, is knowing yourself, taking a good hard look in the mirror. And if you're in between relationships, that's a great time to do that assessment. So, and if you're already in a relationship, just, you know, maybe just taking some time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a little quiet time, you know, figuring out what's working, what isn't. And, you know, I love this isn't working for me. Or, oh, that's not working for, because I even do that with my family, or like my mom, oh, that's not going to work for me. You know, and it just makes it easier. You're not mad at them. It's about, it kind of puts what's, you know, whatever's happening, it puts it on you saying, oh, that's not going to work for me. You go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no judgment here. You keep doing what you're doing, but it's not going to work for me. So exit, stage left.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's, you know, kind of good, and I think you know, it's a good way to talk to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Is to say, oh, this is kind of not, you know, not working for me. What can we do about it? What can I do? You know, and I think you can work together, and it's just communication and knowing yourself.
Yeah.
So anyway, so take a risk, be vulnerable, share your heart, and love always. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, more Linda Ugelow. And this one is for the birthday peeps: Gina Prentice, Steve Lenner, my favorite bartender at New York Prime, and Mark Gilbert. Happy birthday, guys. Love you. And we got Feels. This is a great song. So, yeah, so we'll, let's just say hi. Let's see who's here. Hi, Ann. Hi, Rick. Hi, Chuck. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Linda Bryan. Hey, Frankie. How are you? Hi, Michael McDevitt. Okay. There we go. Hi, Michael Romano. What are you doing? So, anyway, so we'll talk about what you have going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, how you doing? You like it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
fun.
I just enjoy your perspective and, you know, your
I'm very
energy.
chatty.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So fun.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, when I started to look at your website and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I read something, and I said, oh, we are on the same page with this stuff. So I like that, you know, because I mean, not that everybody has to be in the same, you know, I don't mind having, you know, somebody with a different perspective. That doesn't bother me at all. But it's nice when you have sort of from the same thing. Are you into like the law of attraction and all of that? Have you read the, do you like Don Miguel Ruiz, like the Four Agreements?
I read that, yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, I love all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's great. So I love that, and I you know, I like to listen to audiobooks too. So, and I wanted to bring you my book, and I'm all out of them.
Oh, I was looking at that last night.
Yeah, so it's actually on, like on, if you have an iPad, it's on iTunes and on Kindle for like $1.99. It's cheap. But
Yeah,
if not, I'll get you one. I'll send you one from.
Are you coming next week too?
Yeah. What's okay? So I want to ask you, is it Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday. What time?
2 or 3.
2 would be better.
2 better?
Yes, because my son needs to get to the airport at 6:30, and I know you're in Bedford.
I could also ask if they're free at 1.
I'll be done here at 12. I could probably scoot out and be done.
2 would be better for you then? Which is better?
Well, how long did it take you to get here today from
Half
Bedford?
an hour.
I probably should do 2.
Let's do 2. Yeah, I know, because I hit a little traffic and it was like, oh,
Well, I'm a little worried because I get out of here at like, by the time we're done, it's 12:15.
Let's do 2.
You know, whatever. So,
Let's do 2.
what? How long are we in the studio for?
Usually be there 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
The show is just a half hour, but
Right.
it's setting up.
Right.
Because I walk in usually at 2.
Right. Okay.
And
Perfect.
we start around 2:15.
Okay. So hear that, peeps? I'm going to be on TV next week. Is it on its internet or is it on?
It's live streams on Facebook and
perfect.
on YouTube.
Oh, yay! Great. All right. So next week, and then maybe if you tag me on Facebook, I'll share it when we're,
Yep.
you know. So
Yep.
perfect.
I'll do that.
Yay! I want to be on TV. I always wanted to be on TV.
That's
love
why I
TV.
have it,
I love
for the
TV.
people who want to be on TV.
Well, no, I want to be a television talk show host.
Well, I think that'll happen.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. You know what I want to do is I want to box Mark Wahlberg on TV. Okay, Mike is hot. All right, here we go, guys. All right, we're back. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for hanging with me and chatting about all this. I love it, and I have to say you're very calming. You have like this, like.
I've been told that before.
You know, because I'm very wound up.
Yeah.
I'm wound up, but not in a negative way. I'm just, I'm just very busy.
Really energized.
Very energetic.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy.
Mhm.
And so, but you're just very calming. I feel like,
Yeah. I think it could be a stage for me.
okay.
Yeah, because I used to be very anxious. And part of the new neural pathways that I've created for myself is how to relax.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time relaxing and helping other people relax and de-stress. And I feel that that's a great thing to have. And yet it's not the only kind of energy that you maybe want to
Right.
have. That sometimes you want to be energized, like on
Right.
radio. You want to have energy. You can't be putting people to sleep.
Right. I hope I'm not putting anybody to
No,
sleep.
I'm sure you're not. You're not.
That would not be good.
There used to be a fellow on public radio from Boston,
Uh-huh.
WGBH, and you would turn on the radio to the station and there'd be like silence. And you say, oh, that must be Robert J. because that's what he does. He'd have these long silences, and that was just a feature of his show.
That's interesting. Like a moment of silence on radio.
He was just thinking, he wasn't in a hurry,
Mm-hmm.
and he just,
I think that would be difficult in today's society.
today it would, but at the time it worked.
Right. Oh, yeah. I could see that because even when my mom, they said they gathered around the radio and listened to the radio and all that. You can just sort of see how that would be. But today with the kids, with everybody the way they are, everybody's connected.
It's much faster.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, let's go. What's your idea?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So I feel that at some point I'll have more energy as well, but so that's why I say it's a stage.
Right. So
Yeah.
you just
It's
chilling.
a stage, a chill
So
stage.
I read a little bit about your journey. So how did you get to where you are? Because I read it, but tell everybody else. You have a little bit of a journey.
As we all do.
Right.
Yeah. So I had a speech impediment as a child and was very shy. I hardly ever spoke. I had some of those impacting experiences, like from my sisters who were jealous of me and they would kick me and tell me to shut up. And so I didn't feel safe speaking at home. I was shy at school. I actually sucked my tongue. You know how some kids suck their thumb?
Right.
My tongue hung out of my mouth.
Right.
And I felt like I had no control over it. I did this till I was 12.
Right.
So you can imagine, you know, how people viewed me
Right.
and thought I was a little strange.
Right.
So it wasn't the way to win friends and influence people, really.
Right.
Being quiet and also having this feature. So I grew up being a good listener, and I hardly ever spoke. I loved to dance. That was my outlet. I'd come home from school, I'd throw my books down, and I would like move, and just my angst, anything from that day, it'd be done, I'd sit down, I'd do my homework.
Right.
And moved on. Somehow, as an adult, I found myself in a singing group. And I've never really sung before, but I enjoyed it. It was a group of women, it was empowering. That was in my 20s, I am still doing it. It's year 37, I think.
How fun is that?
It's been so much fun, and I have to say that it just gave me lots of opportunity to overcome feelings of self-consciousness.
Right.
Because I was doing it over and over again. So that was a big part of my journey, as well as going to grad school in expressive therapies and specializing in movement. I continue to dance and I help people get comfortable in their skin and feeling comfortable being seen, moving their bodies. When I decided to become an online entrepreneur, it was suggested to me that I help people with their presence because people always commented on my presence on stage. And I thought, well, that sounds cool. And the thing that I didn't consider is that I really didn't feel comfortable speaking.
Right.
In fact, when I had to introduce a song on stage, I would be agitated about it for, ahead of time and totally take me out of the present moment. I would not be like in my body at all, singing for 4 songs before I had to introduce the song, the following one. So I decided to get more experience, and I began live streaming on Periscope. Periscope, for people who don't know, was live stream before Facebook knew live stream. And it was suggested that you do it every day.
Right.
Well, I realized that as a performer, I had fluttering, I had like accelerated heartbeats, but because I just did it every once in a while, I could overcome it with different techniques, breathing and jumping jacks or whatever. I would have a whole number of things that I would do. But when I did it every day, I realized that pounding heartbeat I just couldn't bear it doing it every day. And at the 75th broadcast that I did, I was thinking, I've got to change this because I don't like the way it feels. I can overcome the fear, I can push past it, but when you're doing it every day, it's like, do I really want to feel this way every single day? Right. And my answer was no. So that's when I decided I'm going to pull out all the tools that I know as a performer, from my studies in expressive therapy, and see if I could, my question was, could I do this without feeling afraid? And what I learned was, yes, I could. Right. I could. I found the tools that worked for me, and that's where I just discovered that I had an impacting past experience. It was my sisters kicking me and feeling jealous because you know what? Every time I was the center of attention by being on camera, it was recreating that experience of being the center of attention of my mother and them being jealous, and I was still worried about them not liking me.
Now, do you still have a relationship with them?
I have a great relationship with them, and for decades I've had a great relationship with them. And that's why it was so surprising that that experience, and there were others too, but that was the main one. It was so surprising that that was still active inside of me. When I checked in with myself, I felt, yes, that I'm still afraid that if I attract too much attention, that I'll lose their love. Just like I did as a child.
It's amazing how those past memories come back to us, and we don't even realize
It's
what's
like
going on.
they imprint themselves.
Right.
And we in our day-to-day lives, we may not even be aware of it because we don't need to be.
Right, right.
It's just when we're up against what's outside our comfort zone when those things raise their head.
So, sort of fast forward, you have so many things that you offer, and I know that you're doing the Women Inspired TV, which I'm excited to be part of next week. But what are you doing? How can people find you? What do you offer for professionals and just regular peeps that want to gain confidence?
Right. So I mainly work with people who want to gain confidence around communication. So whether it is speaking on camera or speaking at a presentation at their work or doing sales or networking,
Right.
I help people overcome the stress with the ways that I already described.
Right.
And it's interesting because people who are already speaking, already kind of being visible in their lives in big ways, oftentimes do it the way I described, where they're overcoming the stress every single time. And I work with them as well.
Right.
So that they can do it in a way that they love and not dread.
Right.
So that they don't have to feel the stress, they can just bring their excitement to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's, because I know with I spoke last night, and I was just excited.
Yeah.
I was excited, and I knew that, I just didn't even want to worry about it, and so I just made friends with everybody and talked, and then when I got up and spoke, I sort of was like, I felt like I was talking to new friends.
That's right, and that is a great technique to engage with people beforehand if you're going to give a live presentation, because then you already have connection.
Right.
You don't have to try to create that connection with all these strangers.
Right.
You already have that built in.
Right, and I think the one thing that I was trying to do was just trying to keep my thoughts together.
That's right. You want to keep yourself in the zone. You want to keep yourself in that sense of, I'm excited.
Right.
Rather than some old way of thinking of, oh my God, is this going to go well? Am I going to forget what I'm going to say? Or maybe I'm going to, whatever. You don't want to go there.
Right.
So you were doing just what you knew you needed in order to stay in the place that you wanted, which was, I'm excited about this.
Right. I had a great
Yeah.
time. So, but I think that's,
Awesome.
it's hard. It's not easy to do that. And I'm great in a dialogue. I'm great in, here on the radio, I can do that. But when you have to stand up in front of 100 people or more, it can be nerve-wracking.
It can be. And until it's not.
Until it's not. Until you think Steve Harvey gave the wrong girl the crown and it's all going to be okay. And if you say it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all okay.
We have to let ourselves not be perfect. It's about...
That's what it is. And I don't even know if there's not such a thing. You are, the way that I see it is how it all happened was perfectly the way it was supposed to happen. This, that, whatever you do, sort of maybe mixing up the topic and going back and forth, however it flows, that's the way it's supposed to happen, and that's how I went into it.
Yes. And also trusting that somebody in that audience is going to be touched, moved, inspired, entertained, or something from what you said.
Exactly, and I think that if this, for me, I think, they said, oh, there's going to be so many people, this, that, and the other thing, and if there's not, everybody, whoever's there is meant to be there.
Absolutely.
And that's, if you have that sort of thought process. So how can people get in touch with you, find out more about you? You're on Facebook, you have a page.
Yes, and my website is probably a great place, lindaugelow.com. That's UGELOW. And if you put /blueprint, you will get my Fear to Fabulous blueprint of mastering the inner game of speaking live or on camera.
There you go, that's perfect. And so, but you're also on Facebook, you're on,
Everything
on
is
Twitter.
Linda Ugelow. Linda, Linda, Ugelow, Ugelow.
That's right.
That's where I am everywhere.
I love it. So if you need help getting confident in your speaking, or if you're going to be on TV, or on the radio, or whatever, or you have to make a sales presentation, you're the person.
I'm the go-to person.
That's it. So now do you ever do, you're in Boston, but do you do
I mostly work on Skype.
there you go. So
So
you
you
can
can
be in
be anywhere in the
Atlanta, you
world.
can be in Atlanta, you can be in wherever,
Mhm.
and you can be in California, and Linda can help you.
Absolutely.
So, yay. All right, so we're going to take another break, and when we come back, Living Atlanta. And this one is for Robert Moulton, Molly Malone. Thanks for liking my Just Steph and Living Atlanta pages. And this is a song by Liam Payne. It's a great song. This is good. I'm setting so full here.
Grace, that was distracting me a little bit.
I know, I'm sorry. Hi, Trisha. How are you, honey? Hi, George West. Hi, Michelle. It's like stuck. It's glitchy. I'm glitchy. This is the technology. It's all glitchy. You know what? I forgot to ask you what you did this past weekend. So I'll ask you. And then I forgot. I usually do that at the beginning, but I'm so I'm so. I'm just in a different place. What are you gonna do?
You're in a different place. It's the truth.
Let me see.
It's good to mix it up once in a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And I said by the time I get used to the Skype, I'll be going back to Atlanta.
How long are you up for?
I go back the 4th of August, and then I come back on the 10th, which is a Thursday, but I have somebody filling in for me at the studio. And I'm here for the weekend to be in Boston. That's really all fun. This has been work. Of course, this has been work for me. I love it, but it's like I'm with my family, I'm with everybody, so it's just, I'm doing, like this morning I went to the gym, stopped by my aunt's house where my mom is, had coffee, had my protein bar, and then scooted home, took a shower, got ready, got everything here, and then got here. So it's like a full life.
Yes, it's really full.
It's really nice, so I like it. So, and last night I spoke, and I've been, trying to get into doing more writing, and I've been going to some networking groups and things like that. So, sort of spreading out into Boston, which I love. I want to come home.
Oh, you want to come back to Boston?
Yeah. As soon as my youngest is in college, I still have 5 years, but that's okay. I can commute between now and then. He's old enough, and his dad's very involved. So, if I've got something in Boston, I've got something in Boston.
Yep.
So, that's what he did all of our lives, If he had something somewhere, it was okay. So, I can travel now.
Yes, yay.
So, yay. I know, so it's great. So, after I talk about living in Atlanta, we'll finish up and then we'll take a couple pictures.
Yeah.
And then I'll have all the links and we'll post them online. All right, so what's going on in Atlanta? You guys miss me there? I don't want to come back. I'm sorry. I love you all. 20 seconds, kids. All right. Okay, kids, you wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for Living Atlanta. There you go, Linda's going. Linda's having a lot of fun. She loves the music. I love it. All right, so before you go out this weekend, drink responsibly, drive responsibly, call Lyft, Uber, a cab, a friend, leave your car at the valet. Do not drink and drive, please. We never talked about what you did last weekend, and then we'll talk about, I'm going to ask you what you're doing this weekend. So what did you do last weekend?
I was out in Portland, Oregon at the World Domination Summit.
What is that?
It asks the question how to live a remarkable life in a conventional world.
I love that. That's awesome. So, well, this past weekend, the biggest thing I did was on Saturday I went into the North End in Boston, and we ate at Il Panino. I went to R2. I went to the Florentine. I was all over the place, and that was great. And then I headed. I went to a networking brunch at Creating Wealth with Lady Corporate on Sunday at the Blarney Stone in Dorchester. I think it's been probably 40 years since I went to Dorchester. But so I did that, and then Monday I headed up to Maine to visit a friend for a couple of days, and then last night when I got home yesterday I worked a little bit and got and I went and spoke to the Massachusetts Professional Networking Group, and we were at WeWork in South Station. And that was so much fun. They were the nicest group of people. So do you have any big plans for this weekend?
I've got family coming in.
Fun.
And we're going to do some things around Boston.
Nice. I love that. I am picking up my son from camp. He's at Lake Sebago. He's been there for 2 weeks. So we have his birthday party. And so it's lots of family stuff this week for me, this weekend. I'm not really sure if we'll go out. I'm not really sure if we're going to just do stuff with family and hang home, but we'll be around Boston, hanging, and doing our thing. So Deb Bowman is Tuesday nights at the Regent Cocktail Club. It's from 7 to 10. She's there every week, and she's also starting August 3rd at Serenbe Playhouse. And so go see her there. She's playing the role of Fraulein Kost in the musical Cabaret. DJ Vanessa Hunley is at G's tonight doing karaoke, and she's always Sunday Fun Day karaoke there. And it's Wednesdays she's at Metro Cafe Diner in downtown. Johnny Perazzo is Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at Whiskey Mistress. Lots of fun there. Johnny's a blast. Go see him and say hi to my friend Billy Allen. Make sure his ticket's working because he's been having some heart issues. There's music every night at Dixie Tavern, City Winery, Venkman's, and Smithsonian Bar. And I found out they're making a City Winery in Boston. So I got that. That's the Down Under. I just found out last night about that. And so if you need to know any more about all these events, you can always check out my Living Atlanta calendar, and that is on my juststeph.com website. Now tonight there's a free weekly wine tasting at Under the Cork Tree in Sandy Springs. They are tasting Ramsey, Milbrandt, and Spy Valley. Admissions is free but must register online. There's a patio punch party at Watershed. They're doing it every Thursday in the summer. And now, of course, this Thursday, which I'm missing tonight, is Alive After 5 in Roswell, which I really do love that. That's a lot of fun. And it's a free family-friendly festival. They have food and all of that, and they close down Old Town Roswell. There's movies in Central Park at Atlantic Station tonight. Now Friday, there's Street Eats on the Square at Colony Square. And Saturday is Cardio Blast at Body Design Personal Training in Midtown. I've been missing it all summer, but I've been hitting Title Boxing in Danvers, which I love. I've been going almost every single day. Love it there. Big shout out to Title Boxing. But Cardio Blast, I'll be back in a few weeks. There's Heroes in Recovery 6K at Brook Run Park in Atlanta from 8 to noon. There's the 7th annual Ice Cream Festival at Piedmont Park from 11 to 6. That sounds like a blast. And Yacht Rock Schooner plays Steely Dan at the Foundries in Athens. That's a great venue too. Its general admission tickets are available online for $10. Midsummer's Eve White Party benefiting End It movement at the Havana Club, and that's Saturday night. Now Sunday, there's rosé tasting at Rumi's Kitchen in Sandy Springs. It explores 4 rosés from different regions, heavy hors d'oeuvres included, and it's $40 per person. That's in Sandy Springs. Rumi's is unbelievable. The food is so good there. You'll love it. You won't be disappointed. Sunset Sessions at Park Tavern is free. There's a free concert at Park Tavern on Sunday nights in the summer at 7 o'clock, and all seating is first come, first serve. There is the Stephen Lee Band at Johnny's Hideaway at 8:30 on Sunday night, and it's a $5 cover. So that's what's going on in Atlanta this weekend. Lots of fun. I'll miss you all, especially tonight in Roswell. But I'm excited about it all. I'm excited about being here in Boston and all the opportunities that I'm getting. I'm going to be speaking at a women's conference in October. And I know there's going to be more coming up. You know, I met a great group last night, so I'm excited to be here. I love it.
All good stuff.
It's a great city, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Love it.
I love Atlanta too, so I'm going to be between the two cities. I love them all. So don't miss anything. I'm a podcast on iTunes, the Just Steph Show, and you can also check all the events and more on the Living Atlanta tab on my juststeph.com. So I have a big shout out to my Boston birthdays. Lisa Giganti, it's my girlfriend Lisa, my bestie Lisa. Happy birthday, babe. Brian Orsino and Barbara Gregory, happy birthday. I love you all, Barbara. I'll see you at the feast. Now next week I have Chris Ridgway. He's also on radio here, and he's my friend from grammar school. So we're going to talk old school next week. We're going to have some old school music. Maybe we'll do a little old school trivia. We'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds
We're going to talk about the Brady Bunch and all that, all the fun stuff. We date ourselves. And then the following week I have Judith Bowman, and she's a local author, and she does coaching as well, but she talks more about business etiquette and like how to shake people's hand and what to do in networking events, and she's so lovely. She's one of the nicest ladies I've ever met. She's like you. She's got that sort of
The chill
just
effect.
chill. And on the 10th of August, I will be heading back to Boston from Atlanta, and Deb Bowman is going to be filling in for me, and you know, she's the best. My girl, I love her. So I'm a podcast on iTunes, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, I'm doing it all. Pinterest, I'm everywhere. I don't know how to do it all, but I do it. Right? All the stuff the kids do. So listen, kids, I will see you next week. Will you come back and join me?
I'd love to.
And next week I'm on TV.
Next week you're on TV.
I'm on
with me.
TV. Yay, I'm going to be on TV
Women
next week.
Inspired.
I love it.
Yep.
It'll be fun. We're going to have a blast. So know I love you all. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby. Love you.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't
There you
miss
go.
a beat.
Hey,
Listen to
all right, kids.
Love 860. Like my Just Steph page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter.